I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Numbers, chapter 18. Let's focus on verse 20. The Lord told Aaron, "You will not have an inheritance in the land. There will be no portion among them for you. I am your portion and your inheritance among the Israelites." Numbers 18, verse 20. Now, Zionism is basically the belief that Jews have a birthright to the land of Israel. And that is, by virtue of being born, they have inherited the right to live in the land of Israel. This belief is founded by God's promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And these are promises which are repeated often throughout the Bible. Now, Zionism is obviously easier to believe if you're Jewish, but what about Middle Eastern non-Jews? Well, then welcome to the Mideast conflict. You know, it's easy to understand a conflict whenever there are two claimants, right? But what if there's a third party? Where do Christians fit in pertaining to any claim to that land of Israel? Well, I bring the question simply because there are some Christians who believe that the church has replaced Israel in the eyes of God. And to them, Gentile Christians have not merely been grafted into the vine with Israel. Rather, Christians have replaced Israel altogether. Of course, Jesus is the true vine, and I'm just glad to be here by His grace. Now, in the Middle Ages, Christian profiteers crusaded to free the Holy Land of Jews and Muslims. And these crusaders believed that the land of Israel should be the sole possession of Christians. That plan didn't really work out well. So, what is the Gentile Christian's inheritance? And more importantly, perhaps, what does it mean to be a co-inheritor with the Messiah, Jesus? If followers of Jesus, either Jew or Gentile, were to relate to any particular Israelite tribe, it would definitely be the tribe of Levi. The New Testament speaks of all believers being a part of a holy priesthood. That's 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 9 and 10. And yet followers of Jesus should not yearn to build an earthly kingdom, but a heavenly one. The question: now, whenever Israel was driven from the land by a conqueror, which tribe got to keep their inheritance? You see, all the inheritance was in the land, and all the tribes, sort of parsed up the land of Israel. What happens if somebody kicks you out of the land, but the land is your inheritance? Well, if they're all driven from the land, who gets to keep their inheritance? And the answer is simple: the Levites. Because the Levitical inheritance was not earthly, and neither is the inheritance of followers of Jesus. God gave the Levites an inheritance from which they could never be driven. They were given the inheritance of serving the Lord. No matter where a follower of Jesus may wander or be led, their obligation, their inheritance, and their joy should be to serve the Lord by serving others, without regard for building personal kingdoms on earth. Don't worry, Jesus has gone to prepare a place for us. And if you read Revelation 21, there is a new heaven coming. There is a new earth, and that is being prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Check us out at groundworksministries.com.